Good morning. It is Monday, September the 8th. We woke up this morning and it was 6 degrees outside. Ian is golfing this morning. He's going to be kind of chilly, but he's taking layers and hopefully he'll be okay. I'm sure he will. So I just thought I would pop on and give you a recap of last week. I meant to do it on the weekend, but the weekend just kind of got away from us, and I didn't really feel like doing it on the weekend. So since I'm here by myself this morning, perfect time to do it. Monday was a holiday, and we just puttered around the house on Monday, and then I got a text from my friend Elsa, and she said, what are you guys doing for supper tonight? And we said, not anything special. And she said, do you want to come over and have supper? And we said, sure. So we went over and we had supper with Elsa on Monday night. Beautiful, beautiful sunset. Whoop. Coming back from Elsa's. That lovely meal. All those people coming back from somewhere, going into Ottawa. And it was fun. It was fun. It's always fun. We discussed an upcoming trip that we're going to be doing. And then Tuesday was our anniversary, and 47 years. Yay for us. And we just hung out around home, and I spent some time in the kitchen, and I made us a fajita board for our supper. And it's from the LCBO magazine, our Ontario Liquor Licensing Board magazine that they put out at least 4 times a year. I'm thinking that they probably do it maybe 5 or 6. I know they do a Christmas one, so at least 5. But there's always 1 or 2 little recipes in there that I enjoy making. And this month's, or last month's, they had like a type of charcuterie board ideas. And the one I did, actually we had lunch with Elsa, and I did a Greek one, which was delicious. And this was another one, and it was a fajita one. And that turned out wonderful too. Now I did make a custard tart out of the magazine, and it wasn't all that. It was good, and we ate it. But I wasn't all that impressed with it. It won't be going on the dessert rotation at all. So is anybody else finding that this fall, in our neck of the woods anyway, in the Ottawa area, allergies are horrible? Ragweed in particular is just absolutely exploded out of control, and I have to take a Claritin every morning to get through with my day. And I just remember that I did not take one this morning, so because I can feel my eyes very itchy and my throat is all scratchy. Excuse me, this morning. So when I'm done this, I'll go up and I'll take one. So yeah, so they've been pretty horrible. Been drops in my eyes, and like I say, with the Claritin and stuff. And it's been hard to get outside and do much, because I can only be outside for a certain length of time, because it doesn't matter how much Claritin I take. I do get bothered. I do get bothered by the ragweed. And when we came back from Nova Scotia, the gardens were pretty much done. There's a few things left in there, but they'll be coming out this week. All of a sudden, my beans have decided to flower and fruit. I will be taking them down, because I'll probably harvest a few. But just to say, I've harvested beans from the garden. but it's been a really not a good year for a lot of stuff. Yeah, so excuse me, but the beans are the beans are flowering and fruiting, and I've got 2 little cucumbers that I'm going to take off the vine. I've got cucumbers in the fridge that from the cucumber. The cucumbers have done great. Sorry, the cucumber did good. I had let me think. I think at least 6 cucumbers. And excuse me, I have to go and get a glass of water because I can feel my throat starting to get a little too dry. Be right back. I waited all summer for these silly beans. And look, here we are in September and finally getting them. I guess better late than never, right? I do like the way the bean plant has wrapped itself around the herb garden sign. Cheers. That'll be better. Yes, the garden. I'm not going to do much with the garden in this one. That'll be a separate one, a lessons learned one, I guess. The cookie jar was empty, so I made cookies last week. I made oatmeal apple cookies. Great idea. Not so great for the cookie jar. The apples made them very wet, not wet, but just crumbly, and they're edible and whatever. But I'm thinking what I might do is I might make an apple crumble. My friend gave me lots of apples from her her apple tree, and I have tons of apples, more apples than I normally have. So I might make an apple crumble and use the cookies for a topping, because I'm hoping that this week I can get out and get my ingredients to make financiers this week. But yeah, so I did that. I mean, like I say, they're okay, but they're not a cookie. They're not like, yeah. Anyway, I've got them out on a plate and thinking that's going to dry them out, and I know darn well it's not going to do that. Uh-oh. Cookie jar is empty. Just a couple of store-bought cookies and some cashew bars. That will be remedied today. I'm making some oatmeal. I'm going to make some oatmeal apple cookies because I think I mentioned earlier that my friend's apple tree has exploded with apples, and she gave me a great big bag of apples. So I am making lots of apple deliciousness. There we go. Cookie jar is full. Well, not quite full, but full enough. The apples made the cookies slightly soft, but I'm thinking that a little bit of exposure to air and they'll crisp up a little bit. They're very good. I put a little tiny bit more cinnamon in them than normal. So yeah, so they're delicious. So there you go. Cookies with coffee or tea, or just grab out of the cookie jar. We finally got rain, and which was a welcome. And our grass has actually started to recover, which is awesome. And but however, yesterday and Saturday morning we got a huge downpour, got everything all wet, and so it was really hard to be out there to do, because it was chilly. It was I think it was only 12, I think, and it was wet, and it's not really fun to be out there doing stuff like that when it's like that. Not for me anyway. And yesterday I went out and I did all the front. I replaced the flowers in the pots with yellow mums, and put up our wreath and cleaned off the porch and washed down the light and the railing and all that sort of stuff. And Ian went out and he did the light above the garage. So the lights are really nice and bright now. And then I was going to go out the back and do a bit of stuff out back, and it started to rain, and I thought, well, it's just misting, it's okay. And then all of a sudden the sky opened up and it downpoured for, oh, probably a good 20 minutes. Good to see, and we certainly needed it, but not conducive to doing much more out in the garden. So today I'm going to try and get out there and do a bit more. There's a few things I need to plant up, and I want to start taking stuff out of the raised garden beds. But yeah, so, and then I was out, when was I? I think Wednesday, maybe? Wednesday I went into the store. Yeah, I just popped into Walmart to pick up a few things because we were having a friend over for a snack and a drink on Friday afternoon. He has had a knee operation, and it's about a month ago, and he's still recovering, and he needed to get out of his house. We offered to come for a visit, but he said no, he wanted to get out, so he came out here. He lives in Nepean, and he drove out. Thank goodness it's his left knee that he had done, so he can drive. And so he came out, and we had a nice visit. But anyway, yeah, so Wednesday I went to pick up a few things for that. Went into Walmart just because I didn't want to, go to the grocery store. And there were a few things that I needed to pick up at Walmart anyway. And they had their Halloween stuff out. So yeah, that's inspirational. I'm not sure what Halloween's going to look like this year, but I will certainly do some decorating for sure. And the tomato harvest, I think I mentioned this maybe in the last one. The tomatoes are tiny. That one's not too bad a size, but some of them are very, very small. I mean, like that. And even smaller than that. So, but I have them ripening, and I probably will freeze them. I don't think I'll be making salsa this year because I still have maybe 4 or 5 jars of salsa from last year, and we don't eat salsa a lot, so excuse me. So I will do that. Because I do like to have, I do like to have the tomatoes in little bags. I usually bag them up in like 2-cup measurements, and it's nice to plop them in. Sorry, my ears are all plugged up now. Great. Yeah, so 2-cup measures. So yeah, so that's that. After a year of babying this thing, look at that. So don't give up on your orchids. Yep, she's blooming. Isn't she pretty? I love that color. And the other one, yeah, so the other one doesn't look so hot, but I'm thinking what I might do is I might take it out of this pot and repot it. I mean, it's still alive. I can see like, this is new here, and the roots look pretty good, but yeah, she's looking gnarly. So yes. So I've started spraying plants to bring them inside. Excuse me, I just just going to pick up that leaf so I don't forget it. So yeah. So anyway, so that's the wrap up of for last week. Not sure if there's much else to say. Have you started your knitting, your Christmas knitting planning? I have. I'm not going to do as much as I did last year, but I do have a couple of projects to do for a few friends, and yeah. So anyway, so that's it. I am going to try and get this edited together and get it up sometime today. So yeah, so hopefully, I'm hoping that you all have a good rest of the week. Hoping that everybody had a good first week back to school last week. And I will see you later. Bye.